Like that brother was talking about how he was like the air. He's like, he said you can't. He said the air feels. It's like he's like they, y'all doing. He's like they doing too much. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't suppress this. What you feeling? Don't suppress it. Embrace that shit and stay fucking dangerous, man. Cause I posted Philandro Castell's mama. I mean, we forgot about her. And how she stood up in front of, like, she didn't do what the other parents did. We forgive, we God's got that, is in control. No, she was like, fuck that. See, they've been doing this shit to us since forever. And I'm like, she the only mama that came out on the front lines and stepped like that. And I'm like, have we forgotten? And it's like her son was like the least, most, fearsome candidate to be talking about I'm scared for my life, and he shot dead in his car in front of his child and his woman. So they forever traumatized. He's not. They affected so many people. He was a pillar in his community. That's who they fuck with. So it can ripple affect people's grief. Like, you took something special from us. They know what they doing. So I posted her shit this morning, like, y'all, we got to stay dangerous, man, because this shit, man, is crazy.
I gotta make your guys' coffees.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all motherfuckers is doing too much. Got folks going through all this emotional trauma. And folks is tired. They tired. And, like, people talking about, they're coming into the news of Grandmaster Jay. I haven't even put out my little conspiracy theory about that. But when I listened to that 3.5 hour video towards the end, like you had to wait, and that brother who was down with him, he was like, I'm gonna say this, because the brother, the guy Tyreek asked him, like, how did you feel when he got got sentenced, or not sentenced, but got found guilty or whatever, and he was like, I felt bad. He was like, but it was like, his ego and some things that he was doing put him in a situation where,
all right, 11:58.
It's unfortunate.
We were out of 4 seconds.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Because he was saying, but he do believe that he was, to a certain point, anointed. You know what I'm saying? He was like, if anything, he sparked a light bulb in folks to kind of be more on guard, to be more of a vanguard. You know what I'm saying? Because because he said, Grandmaster Jay has 17 years with the Army. So civilian life, he hated. That's what the brother Delta said. He was like, he hated civilian life. He hated.
Well, why you get out in 17?
You know why?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But he said, I noticed that in his life that he. And he said, but with people who are, who become great, fail. So they fail. And they get up and they try again. Those are the people that, when they get up and try again, are the ones to watch. So he's like, I've had a relationship with him where I was the guy who was basically keeping him humble, keeping him grounded, being his conscience in his ear. When somebody, because he said everything happened so fast. And we didn't have he said that the infrastructure wasn't there for the volume of people that came forth. He said it was 2 goals that he was trying to accomplish. And so when people try to be like, what happened? He said we was gonna have outside the border backing. And I remember when Grandmaster Jay said that. He said we needed a 1 million man army that was committed, volunteered, and ready. And he said if we would have accomplished that goal, that backing would have came. He said, so, and we had to have the financial. He said, now think about it, with the Army, U.S. Army, Air Force, all the, the whatever's. He said when a soldier goes to war.
Where's the nigga who's stepping up?
Listen,
the second. No, ain't no, listen. Okay, where that nigga at?
Dude, he's pretty much kind of the guy, but they're not out doing what Grandmaster did with the flaunting. And they training. Because the guy said that. Why y'all why ain't nothing going down? Why y'all ain't going over there and handling that shit that happened in Buffalo? He looking at him like, what? He's like, nah, bro. He said, next time you see us, we're going to be on some whole different shit. He said, we training right now. And it's still open call. Like, you can still come and join and be down. But they just not going around city to city advertising shit like that. He said, because you made me lose my train of thought. God, what was I trying to say? But it was deep, though. I was like, okay. Oh, he said there's two things when you have a person like this that can happen when the cops and the feds and all them get involved. He says two things they trying to do. They either trying to kill you or they trying to hide you. Now, what was we talking about the other day? And I said, the fact that he said it, this is towards the end of the video. I said, the fact that he said that, he said, there's only two options. And then the Tyreek was like, well, you know he ain't dead. And brother was like, I know. Okay? And so now, he going to have to face some years. So, I mean, nigga, what that mean? He said he can appeal it. He said, but we don't know how that's going to go. That's still, up, we got to wait to see what happens with that.
How many years he did?
Oh, we don't, I don't.
Oh, he didn't get sentenced.
He didn't get sentenced.
August.
Exactly. So he's kind of like holding the raps. You know what I'm saying? That.
And I get what because so now I know it's still around.
Oh,
and they kind of went underground.
Right, they went very underground. Okay. And then he was saying, this is what my thought process before I got interrupted. He was saying the difference between what he said, we weren't really a militia. He said, because a militia is an infrastructure. He said, we didn't have the infrastructure. He said, we looked the part. He said, we wore it well. He said, but we didn't cause no damage. We didn't really do nothing. He said, but with the Army and the force branches of the armed forces, he said a soldier can go to war and not worry about his car note, his mortgage, his kids, his house. Like, all that's going to be straight, intact, and there when I get home. He said, so with the militia, he said, that's why Grandmaster Jay was working on that next, and I do remember that, trying to raise money. I donated so he could pay his soldiers. He was trying to create an infrastructure so he could create a situation like the Army, where when soldiers are out and they can't be taking care of their bills is getting taken care of for them. Because he was like, the last thing you want a soldier to do in war is thinking about, is my kids all right? Is my house gonna still be there when I get home? Is my car gonna be repoed? He's like, that's the last thing the government wants their soldiers to be out there thinking about life behind. He said, they want you free. He said, when you're a soldier, that's the freest, when you are the freest you can be in America. They want you out there free.
I disagree with that, but go ahead.
Free to kill.
That's what he said.
Free to kill and do whatever it is that the government out there assigned you to do.
Why they paid so shitty?
No, but he's saying to be a soldier, like the house no gonna get took, like everything gonna be taken care of at home. But if you got brothers down in fact, and some shit go down, they get hemmed up like Ozone, like Spike. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, did they even still get rid of?
They, because he was like, because he said when they went to that Kentucky shit, he was like, I was adamant. He was like, when we go, y'all make sure y'all have your house in order. He said, because ain't gonna be no GoFund funerals for none of us. In fact, We ain't going out like that. Who went out like that? Kevin Samuels. A whole bunch of motherfuckers.
He had GoFundMe?
Well, they at first they said they had a GoFundMe.
Yeah, at first they said, but that was just a nigga trying to get some goddamn money.
Right.
That nigga had $4 million? No, whatever. They
So,
still don't know where his shit at.
Exactly. That's a whole nother story. Fucking around with these YouTubers, man. But it was a deep conversation. You know, I was kind of surprised. He wasn't like too revealing, but he was revealing enough to kind of give you an insight of what he was up against. He's like, I already took the oath, like I was down with the shits and whatever came with it. He reminds me and looks like the brother in The Last Purge. That was the brother that was the soldier, and he kind of took the reins and took care of, make sure he was protecting the hood. That's who he looked like. I'm like, this nigga look like the nigga from The Purge, dude. The superhero from The Purge, who was a black man. He saved the day. That's the only thing about that Purge, that they had the ending where the black man ended up saving the day. Because all before the ending, this shit was fucked up. But at least they gave us that. A brother did save the day. Like, nigga, come with that shit. We got some shits for you. And I was thinking that whole time, like, wow. I'm like, I wonder if he realized that. Like, he favors that actor a lot. But a lot of people didn't even know Grandmaster Jay was sent, got found guilty. So they just like, whoa, like, what the fuck? So I comments, people like, now we need to really take care of him. I'm like, yeah, nigga, that was, see, now it's like, it's like we almost trained to, like, jump the gun when shit's fucked up. Like we gotta start doing preventive measures. Like, don't wait till shit get fucked up and then act. It's like we gotta act now so shit don't get fucked up and it can be a continuum. Like, how we not understanding that? How was you not down with the fact that MFAC was trying to do something? You know what I'm saying? And so they did have a conversation about that. The soldier was like, nigga, he was like, I'm sorry, but as a collective, he said, we complacent. He said, we complacent. We are cool with how things are. No, he's like, we've been given so many opportunities. It's like when I be saying that Kaepernick. Kaepernick was an opportunity. What niggas do? Still watch NFL. Them white folks was like, really? Yeah. We over here like, really too.
The NFL has not changed, so why is he trying
because niggas, they wanted to change.
Why is he trying to come back?
It's no, from the guy who says, you don't want to know nothing about the whys?
Huh?
Obviously his...
No, it's not obvious. Break it down, but you obviously interviewed him, right?
I'm like, what you mean?
Because you said obviously.
I'm coming with my insight, just like you was barking about how you don't ask why. Now you want to apply the why.
Because you went through all that and now you running back to the slave master. You got broke off. And you still got that Nike contract.
But is he going back to the slave master on his own terms, or he going back to the slave master with their terms?
Obviously, it's their terms.
I think that there's a negotiation. And if you can negotiate...
He's not on the team. They just gave him a tryout. They gave him a tryout. That's it.
And maybe that's all he wants. Maybe that's all he wants.
Oh, that's just smoke and mirrors to say, yeah, the NFL's changed. Look, they giving him a tryout.
No, but the soldier was saying we complacent, we don't want it bad enough, and he said that's the most frustrating thing that he's encountered through all of this. He's like, we've been given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and he's like, niggas asleep, And he was like, and then Tyreek was like, well, you gotta understand. He was like, you saying that, Grandmaster Jay was anointed. I'm saying he was just a charismatic, entity that was planted. And, we attract what we are. So if he attracted drunks and drug addicts and niggas who didn't want to show up on time and niggas who didn't want to show up for training, he's like, what that tell you? You dealing with a nigga that ain't legit. And I'm like, dude, you reaching. You reaching. We're dealing with broken men. Grandmaster Jay was dealing with broken men. The niggas that are about it are behind bars. Until we figure out how we can get them escaped, then we can talk about having an army. But these niggas on the outside, they broken.
Why can't that be a valid question?
No, it's a valid. That's what two males are opposing sides.
That specific question right there. Why can't that be valid?
No. You know what I'm saying? And so, he said, but out of that, he said, there's diamonds in the rough. No, the soldier was like, but out of that, there's diamonds in the rough. He said, because like the Tyreek was like, think about it. He said, even with the army, he said they don't just let anybody in. If you got flat foot or you got a fucking disease or something wrong with you or you can't handle it, nigga, they booting your ass out. We can't use you.
That's not what the FBI
And he said, he said,
full of white supremacists.
Have been more disciplined with who they let in and who they didn't let in. But the soldier was saying, but the goal was to get that 1 million man mark so we can get that money to get the support in the capital to have our own shit. And he's like, we missed it. But don't get it twisted though, because NFC made up a bunch of different gun clubs. Okay? So there are other gun clubs that are making noise still above ground. Like they, like Hawk Newsom, like he down with, nigga, they making noise. Stepping the folks up in they hood, cop or no cop, they stepping to you. Like, what you doing here? With guns present. So they, some brothers are taking it to their responsibility to hold the hood down. Something that New Era Detroit been doing. But we from Detroit, so we about it anyway. Regardless, anywhere we go, we gonna be about it. Nigga. So yeah, we been on that. Niggas should have been on that. And all this unemployment, there's no excuse. There's no excuse why we don't have a Brigard, or however the fuck you say, Brigard? Is that the word?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
A whole bunch of niggas walking down the street at night to make sure we are safe. Too much unemployment going on for niggas to have an excuse. And if you think about it, like if you indulge yourself, you find that it's actually therapeutic. Because when I was doing it out there, I wasn't out there by myself. I was out there with a group, and it was like, if you fuck with me, you gotta fuck with them. And that's a whole different kind of power you're channeling when you walking through your shit with your people, and they know you there for the shits to protect them. It's a whole nother vibe, and niggas just don't even realize. If you tap in, you'll find that shit is actually therapeutic.
They are tapped in. They tapped into that gang shit. You fuck with that nigga, you fucking with the rest of them. So they are tapped in. It's just in a negative form.
Exactly.
So they're getting that.
Exactly. That's why I be saying that all the time. I'm not, they a product of their environment. We just need to rechannel it. Like that sister that swang that brother through Dollar General or Dollar Tree. I'm like, she's useful. It's like, don't be mad at her because she's strong and burly and fearless. She's fearless. We can channel that. Like Mr. Nancy say, fear is useful. Use it to your fucking advantage, man. Conquer that shit. So I don't know what's gonna come from that, if he gonna appeal it or what, but I wish the best for him. And like the soldier said, he's like my thing was, he said, well, I felt that Grandmaster Jay fucked up was how he just stopped doing the what he used to call that, the morning something. That little, he used to like get on camera and talk to the people.
They forgot his stipulations for being out?
But he said he didn't have to talk about no guns or the case. He still could have talked to the people, though.
Not doing that. Why are people forgetting that fact?
He was like, he said if he was about it, he would have found the way.
Wow. If he was about it, he would have showed him a way.
He said, look at the circumstances he in. All know this is Trump. We all know it.
I'm talking, so somebody asked him that question, and he said if he
No, he said he should have still talked to the people. He didn't say it in them exact words. That's me.
Because I'm like, nigga, there's always a nigga who is not about to have no freedom or not threatened.
No, Delta is about the shits. Oh, he about the shits now. The way he articulates them, maybe I'm not doing him justice, but he's very articulated. He's very articulate. He knows the armed forces.
Why isn't he doing the morning mentals?
He knows his history.
Why isn't he doing the morning mentals? Is he saying he's not charismatic?
Because he's not that guy to be in front of the camera like that. He's that guy that's like comes out every once in a while, shows his face, and goes back underground. That's that guy.
Do you know when you're building something, you need to have that guy?
I understand. That's why he peeks his head out every once in a while.
No, because you need to be that Malcolm X. You know how much the Nation of Islam was growing with Malcolm being the spokesperson.
Right. I think that's what
they had to find another guy. They had to find Farrakhan. Well, shit. Hence, fucking Khalid Muhammad gone. Because he was, according to the Nation of Islam, because they kicked him out. He was crossing the line. Because he was taking it to the point like, fuck these white folks.
And I mean, when you think about it, all these brothers were saying the same thing. And when you compare that movie, Everything, Everywhere at the Same Time, and the time lapses that we're dealing with, like, nigga, how we don't know coming. You know what I'm saying? That's why you know what I'm saying? We do need to be on some vanguard shit. Like, yo, we can coexist, but keep them. Bring that shit over here. The friction. Turn off them goddamn TVs. Act civil. Act like you got some goddamn sense when you're around people, and we'll be all right. But you got motherfuckers out here stirring up the pot. Like I like to say, shaking up the salad bowl. And
you gotta shake the salad bowl up. That's how you mix it. You mix the ingredients that way.
Yeah, but is it? I mean, like, we're shaking it up to mix up the ingredients. Theoretically, that's how it's supposed to be. Make it delicious. And
that's the way it is.
But like a brother said, you got all different types of motherfuckers over here in America, and we all up under each other, and we really don't like each other. And he's like, that's why it's a constant drama.
Shaking the salad bowl is not a good analogy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So whoever said that,
I said it.
That is not.
I said it.
Not a good.
In the context of what I was talking about with the person, it made sense.
That's how you mix the ingredients, and yeah, they blend in.
Blending in a little too much. Dude, I'm at my job seeing Hindu Indians from India darker than me.
Well, they are darker than us.
No, I'm talking these motherfuckers are tar black, dude. Walking around
a
this
lot of them
motherfucker
are.
acting like they not black, though. I'm like, nigga, you darker than me, but you walking around here acting like you one of them.
Because he has culture. He has
And
a
he
culture.
darker than me.
So that's not the problem.
That shit is mind-blowing, dude.
They can put white on their fucking...
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not what you said. You said he's darker than me. Like that.
No, because you know the context of the conversations we had. So yes, I'm relating him to the fact that I know he's classifying himself as white.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the problem
And
with him
you're
acting that
darker
way?
than me. And I know you classifying yourself
You know
white
that's a
because the way
status,
you
right?
walk,
You know
right.
that's a status, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And I know that you classifying yourself as white because the way you walking around this motherfucker. Darker than me.
What's wrong with that?
And dude, I'm just making an observation in correlation to what we've talked about in the past.
You're getting upset about that observation?
I'm not upset, I'm excitable.
Whatever.
Like, what's the name said? Nigga, to be halfway conscious in America is to be in a constant fucking rage. And I try to tone this shit down so I can be normal. Fuck you mean? Walking around here acting like shit ain't happening, nigga. That's asinine to me. That's a form of fucking insanity. How we walking around here oblivious to what the fuck is going on. And I gotta sit here and conform because it makes you feel some kind of way. Because you feel uncomfortable because I'm coming to work feeling some kind of way. That I just watched 8 people get shot up in a fucking supermarket. Quite frankly, I think that little sit down the other day was just a little testing the waters of how's the black person feeling right now. Yeah, a lot of shit going on for y'all. Let's sit her down and see what her temperament is. It took everything in my body, dude, to keep myself contained and not come across like I want to slap both of y'all like a Three Stooges type slap where everybody's face gets slapped at the same time with one slap. That's what I wanted. That's what I was envisioning. Because I'm like, this shit is ridiculous. It's something else to this. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, they trying to test my temperament, man. Seeing if I'm walking around here ready to kill everybody. White folks scared. Y'all need to be. Y'all doing too much. And these mothers of these boys and these mothers of these men ain't putting a stop to this shit. Y'all are just as responsible.
The fact that we still don't know the names of those parents of that boy?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. Like they just like they said, how you get $9,000 plus worth of artillery gear, body gear, accessories, and you ain't got no job. You just coming out of high school. You ain't got no credit cards, but you got all this shit though in your possession. That's because somebody walked in there and got it for them.
The fact that nobody know their goddamn parents. Who the fuck are these parents? Well, maybe I need to look. Maybe I need to look because other motherfuckers ain't looking.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, war correspondent.
Maybe I need to look. Like, who the fuck are their parents? That shit probably just a Google away.
Exactly. And somebody was just saying that too. I think it was Michi. She was talking about Bill Gates the other night, talking about how this nigga is just everywhere. She said he got so much money that he can just do whatever the fuck he want. And she's like, if you just Google, like Google can be a friend. She's like, just Google this motherfucker and the shit that he's doing right now. He's like the villain in the comic books.
Well, a lot of people don't even know this nigga has got your computers on lockdown.
Dude, he got a whole bunch of shit on lockdown.
Nigga, try to put another operating system on your Windows 11 computer.
Dude.
The average person. Try to put Linux on your goddamn computer and see what the fuck happens.
Now, you remember when we were talking about a couple weeks back, and we were how I was getting all this mail. You can roll up that window now. How I was getting all this mail And I was noticing how all these different entities, like these PayPals, and can now wants to take your check, and you can deposit your check and pay, like shit that you only could do through your bank or credit union is now being subsidized down to like cash apps. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how is they allowing all of this shit to open up like that for just regular motherfuckers to have access to the market, right? And so I saw this chick, she was like, dude, she said, y'all, what you need to do, open up a gang of fucking checking accounts. She said, I'm trying to get a house right now. She said, so I got a specific account for that. So I don't have nothing coming in, nothing going out. I got only something coming in, nothing coming out. She said, what's happening now is that they're like creditors aren't allowing you to pay with a credit card. It has to come from a source like a bank. So she was like, she's like my internet bill. She said it keeps coming back. They're not getting the payment. She said, because I was using my credit card. And she was like, I got to go through this every month. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? And so she was like, listen, y'all. She's like, just open up a gang of checking accounts so we can force these banks to stop charging us fees. And I was like, but the fact that...
No, you can just have Biden do that. Because opening up a bunch of checking accounts is not going to stop fees at all. Only reason I ain't paying no goddamn fee, man.
No, but what she was saying is, like, have different checking accounts for different shit. Just like how I got my business account for certain shit. Because, like, when they look at that, I want certain transactions to reflect on that. Right? And I'm doing that purposely now, so when I do try to get some shit, I can possibly use my business credit line. Apply through my business versus through myself. But then having that business helps me, so it's like, yeah, if I'm controlling several accounts and I'm managing that lets the creditor know, like, okay, this bitch is on top of her shit. So that's kind of like a language that, it's like you kind of, that's what I was reading when I was reading up on that business account, and how much of an advantage it is to have an EIN. I was like, nigga. I was like, yeah, I'm mad. It took me this long to figure it out. I could have been doing this in my 30s. Nigga wasn't even thinking about no internet. Definitely wasn't no TikTok then. And it definitely wasn't no Instagram. I'm trying to think, was it Facebook? How old is Facebook? Facebook is not that old. I don't think it's 30 years old yet. Maybe 20. It might have been around for 20 years. I don't think it's been 3 decades. Feels like it. And another thing that could be making people sluggish is the fact of all this information that we have access to, and our brain only supposed to deal with so much a day.
You don't have to fucking absorb that shit. This is what I keep trying to tell people.
People do. That's the reality. People do.
You can say that's the reality for their ass.
Right.
Because my thing is, look, the more you put on your goddamn hard drive, the slower your motherfucking computer gonna be.
And it works the same for the brain.
I don't know. Is there something scientific saying that?
Well, I was just listening to you. They were saying that your brain can only input. Remember the other day when I was doing that Amazon and I was like 3 days, and by that 3rd day, nigga, I couldn't even put a thought together.
You just got tired.
No, my brain is a difference. They were like, your brain
overheated. Your
gets
hard drive
tired.
overheated.
And it's like everything else goes. Like once that happens, it's like, nigga, you're useless.
You just got tired. All you had to do was reset. If you'd have slept, woke up, you'd have been bad. This is the answer right here.
Yeah. So they was like, that's no, you shouldn't do that. But a lot of people do find themselves doing that, and like, and then so I'm like, okay, that could explain why a lot of us are tired, sluggish, lethargic, because all of this information that people are just ingesting.
And you're fucking not protecting yourself, man. You're not fucking protecting yourself.
Brain is
You got all these crystals, these incense and oils. Nigga, you need to use and take advantage of that. And also have a pistol, but I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, we need to have a pistol too. Definitely. Black people need to be armed in America. I don't give a fuck. These crackers is too crazy not to be. It's like, come on, we ain't trusting y'all on. Oh, really? Okay. I mean, treaties y'all unbroken. I mean, laws y'all invented just to fuck a nigga up. Come on now. Take that wrath like a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Take that ass whooping like a real one. Y'all put you made the kitchen hot. Stay your ass up in it. When the kitchen was cool, you was fucking shit up. Now the kitchen hot, you wanna run and go grab the fire extinguisher. Nigga, no. Stay in the heat, nigga. Face your fucking demons. It's demon time. Niggas is on demon time. And black people should not be scared of that phrase. Fuck your Fox 2 News talking about good morning with flowers. Boy, they're talking about the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy.
What?
They got a billboard that just said good morning with a bunch of flowers and a cup with them pouring coffee and saying Fox 2 News. I'm like, really? That's mind control right there. Might have been an underlying message behind that shit. We don't know. That they zapping motherfuckers with. Like, and they live. And then the fact that when you had called me right after I had went through that little sit down with my managers, I thought that was, that was we were in sync. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, damn, like I needed to hear somebody to kind of, get me out of that. I was pissed. I wasn't pissed, but I was just like, ugh. Like I got to deal with this shit for the rest of the day. So you kind of like helped me pull out of that. You know what I'm saying? That was the energy I was in. And it's not like I work with anybody and I can kind of talk and bounce shit off of it. It was just like I just had to work through the anger for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Sun's bright as hell, boy. They got a ring around that motherfucker. That sun got a ring around it. That shit crazy. It's bright too. Like a light bulb. So is there any news you've read lately that?
Seen the shootings.
Yeah, you were saying what happened? Like
I didn't read them.
yesterday?
I don't click on them anymore. I see the headline and keep it moving. It was Chattanooga and Philly.
Like what were the locations?
I just said Chattanooga and Philly. I didn't read it. It was
I'm
there, and I kept going. I don't, like I said, I have choices. I do not click on that shit.
Yeah, the news ain't fun.
can choose the news you want to fuck with.
Right.
People are sitting back. Something called algorithms. All that meditation shit, that's what's coming through now. Not bullshit.
Right. Talking about on YouTube?
YouTube or wherever. All the meditation, because they all connected. All of them, especially if you use.
They said that's a good thing to upload. You know, if you got a channel to have something like that, 'cause people tap into shit like that all the time.
What are you talking about?
Like those are like those kind of videos are like high yielding videos, because people, you know, tap into that type of stuff, listening to water, rain, ocean, the singing bowl, you know, stuff like that for meditation. So it's like you want something like that on your channel.
Well, it's just because I'm not even
'Cause it
signed in
draws
on
people
YouTube
in.
anymore. So I'm totally trying to change the whole algorithm.
Right. So I was trying to do something like that. I just didn't fully complete. I need to figure that out because, like they said, you know, it'll draw people in. They know you got that on your channel.
I didn't know that many ads come through though. I'm like, God dang.
Well, that person's getting paid. That person's getting paid. If they got a channel that's coming in with all them ads, then that means they getting money. And you know, I'm sure it's like over 1 million views.
No,
No, not yet.
no. They just got ads.
You might be getting more ads because you're not going through the app.
That is that.
I thought you said you.
I said I'm not signed in.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's what I meant. Maybe because you're not like signed in, you're being more susceptible to ads because they like we don't know who you is.
I get an ad on everything I watch. Everything. It's an ad comes through.
I remember a day when YouTube didn't have ads. That was their whole thing. Like we don't have, you know. Now they finally bowed down.
Everybody gonna bow down on you when it comes to money. And then you public. These are public companies.
They are annoying as hell though. They always come right in the part-time part where you don't want no interruption. It's like, damn. Everybody looks so focused in their car. That's that morning face. Gotta get to work. So I figured that day I work from 8 to 4, which I think is tomorrow. Right?
You tell me.
I will check, but what I'm saying is, how you gonna play that? You gonna just wait, or you gonna take Uber to my job and sit in the car and wait, like how we did the last time?
I didn't even get your job.
No, the last time I was at the dental office. Oh
Right,
no, we
you
met at
went
the
to-
supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we can do that again. You just come over there and sit in the car until I get off. But like by the time by the time you wait and get in the Uber and come up, yeah, I'll be off and could be on my way to you. So it just depends on
Right.
how you
I
want
just
to do it.
just wait.
Yeah, like you can go take shit, take your time.
I'll be at the Union Hall. Union Hall around the corner. I'll shoot you the address.
Alright.
Because it's an election around for
The because I could do the 8 to 4. You know, I prefer 7 to 3, but I would do an 8 to 4. And
do they have one like that?
I don't know, but this is weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are y'all got me up here at 8 to 4? See, this is the day I need to go in and see who the fuck is working. Shit. Like I said, the back of it is really cute. The windows are dope. But for 90 G's, nah.
100, depending on which one. See, that's just a regular Wagoneer, so that's probably like 90.
That's too much.
We had one come down the line, it was 130. It was like, psst.
Nigga, what color was it?
I can't remember. Burgundy, something shit like that.
I'm like, yeah, you need to have a special color to that paying that kind of
Nah,
money.
it was the Grand. That's just a Wagoneer.
Oh, wow.
I don't see the value. Ride good though. For the ride's excellent. It's fast. It's a gas guzzler though. And then their math. I'm like, what kind of fucking math y'all doing with the estimating how much you paying for gas? I'm like, nigga, y'all math is faulty as hell.
You know you gonna hype that shit up.
There ain't no hyping. It's like, nigga, it is what it is. 12 miles to the gallon.
Damn. That's all. I mean, shit, with a Hummer get like 6.
The Hummer electric now.
Hummer and electric just to me they don't
Bad boy
belong
fast
in the
as
same.
hell.
They don't belong in the same.
No, they just suckering everybody to get these cars to fucking stop on that ass. You better off getting these hybrids.
Like what this is.
Oh, they know the 80, but no, I'm talking about like the gas and electric. So I'm just
Oh,
talking about this
okay. Yeah. I think the Volt is like that.
They don't make that no more.
I know. I was one of the first one.
What's like that is the fucking what's like that is the Toyota, the Prius.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, if you're on the brake, it will be charging the battery.
Mm-hmm. He look like Marcus. It sound like Corey gonna be trying some new stuff out. I have to finish one since video at the end. Okay. So he reinventing himself. That's a good thing. Because, you know, his days on YouTube may be numbered. Unfortunately. Because what's happening on TikTok, a lot of woke content creators, when I say woke, the ones who are talking about the stars and the Anunnaki and Narubu and, you know, all that shit, they're just erasing. I got so many videos that I do edit, and they're just like, oh, we removed this video, nope, we removed this video, whoop, we removed. I'm like, nigga, I need to show this. Like, people ain't gonna believe me. Like, all this content I had, they're just gone. I'm like, wow. I'm like you says, they shit, can't get mad. And then I did that live on Melanated Peoples, and because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I lost that. So I don't even know if people watched it, or, you know, if it worked. I was like, nigga, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I gotta figure this shit out. And I gotta get a new subscription. That might be why.
Damn.
Cause they pushing for subscriptions
Did
right
everybody
now.
come to work today?
Nigga, ass cheeks.
This nigga is like a stupid bitch.
He not waiting for. There's no traffic behind us.
Dude, there ain't nobody behind us. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do then. I'm just getting out. Look at this nigga. I be wanting to punch people sometimes. Cause it's like, what the fuck, nigga? Take a couple of puffs of your joint and get the fuck on. God damn.
I be sitting sometimes getting my little shit ready. I know mom be like, this.
Man, fucking dope fiend.
What you trying to say?
Dope
What you
fiend.
trying to say?
A dope
What you
fiend.
trying to say?
I ain't try. I said it, dope fiend. The fuck?
Ooh, shit.
What the fuck all these niggas here early for anyway? Bitches. Supposed to come late.
Oh, you got to cash out me some,
Huh?
you got to cash out me some gas money, dude. I gotta pay on, pay my credit card. Like, damn, Thursday a long way away. Thank you. You are here kind of early though. Ooh.
Hold on. Give me a mask in this bitch.
Well, that white boy ain't got no mask. Oh, he getting it. Everybody trained on that shit.
Ain't no train. It's like, bitch, you can't, nigga.
Ain't no come up in here without one.
Oh, they are not.
Playing
They
that.
are not Kroger.
Like, we ain't playing them games.
You stand out and you will get something said to you about that.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is not Kroger.
All right.